Flores Island, Captain Finlay Crab had readied his fishboat, the FEC, for the journey home, and set out in good spirits while the weather was fair. Finn Crab had planned for some time to reach Port Alberni early that Christmas week. And that suited Ed, the big crewman. He did not want to spend Christmas on Flores Island when there was so much more doing in Port Alberni. The third man aboard the fishboat was an anxious kid who had come down to the floats on Flores Island and asked the captain to take him down to Port Alberni. Captain Crab looked forward to be home with his wife again. Mrs. Crab's name was Effie, but at home she was called Mrs. Crab, or Mom, and her name had come to be used only for the FEC, which was by this time more Effie than Mrs. Crab was.
There's something over there, Ed. Over by the Indians' place.
Aye. Looks like some kind of trouble.
We better go in and have a look.
Finn Crab did not hesitate to turn the boat towards the shore, but he had no intention of stopping there. His mind was closely set to home. The turning aside of the fishboat irked the young passenger very much. Here was delay, and how much of it? He was possessed entirely by impatience for contact with the writer of this letter.
Dear Jason, I'm very unhappy. I don't know if I should tell you. I've thought and thought before I wrote you, because I could say awful things and say you must come to Vancouver right away and marry me. And some nights I threatened to kill myself. And the next night, I say no. I do know I couldn't go back to the prairies with the baby. So where would the baby and me go? I could say I love you. And I do.
It's my son, Finn. He got hurt bad.
We'll take him down to the hospital. They'll know what to do. Easy now. What's that leg, Ed? Looks like it might be broken.
You'll be all right, lad. We're gonna get you to the doctor. We better get out of here, Finn. It's starting to get rough.
Evening came, and black night. It was winter cold outside. The FEC could not make much speed now, and plowed slowly for hours, never ending, following a sideways course so that she could cut a little across the waves. Finn Crab thought he had good reasons for going on through and trying to make Alberni late in the night, though he didn't consult the crewmen, who hadn't much judgment.
Hold your course in!
And so they went on.
Tofino! Come in, Tofino! Hey, what? The old man's crazy. We can't take this. We're gonna get killed. I'm gonna run her up on the beach. What the hell are you doing? Get her back on course! You're gonna kill us! Wait! You're gonna put us up on the rock! Oh, I know! Go away!
Knowing everything, knowing just where they were, but not knowing, Ed looked forward into the blackness and drove on against death for sure.
In a recent storm off the west coast of Vancouver Island, the fish boat, the FEC, has been reported missing with 2 men aboard, Finn Crab and Edward Morgan, both from Alberni. It is thought that there may have been a 3rd man aboard, Jason Black, a young logger from Flores Island. Planes are continuing the search.
The next day, Mrs. Crab spent the day waiting on the wharf. And the next day it was the same. And the next. Josie did not read the papers. Days had passed, and without the consolation of love, she took secretly and with terror what she deemed to be the appropriate path. The boy's father, who had fully trusted the man who took his son away, heard nothing more
I've seen my son.
and had journeyed to Port Alberni.
His name is Howard Wilson.
But at the hospital, no one seemed to know anything about his only son. Because it seemed to establish the captain as living, Mrs. Crab waited day upon day, paying the exorbitant price of love. He never said what day, she said. The captain could never say what day. He just said the beginning of the week. Maybe Monday was what he said.